Hello world, welcome back to my channel. And as I always say, it begins with white. So in this video, I will be sharing with you a slower paced documentation and tutorial of one of my recent biro art commissions. I'll also be sharing helpful tips for creating biro artworks randomly, so do well to watch till the end, learn, and of course, share. So first of all, I had to make my sketch with the pencil like I always do. I sketch with the pencil and I make the sketches as light as possible. To see how I made the sketch, check out the video I made here on my YouTube channel that dealt with the topic how to create fast and accurate portrait sketches. I'll also drop the direct link in the description too. Then when I was done with the sketch, I now headed straight to shading, and the shading method I use is the cross hatch method, and I make use of layering, cross hatches and layering. Here you would see a separate paper and you see my other biros with max tape on it, and you might be wondering why. So for the paper, I used it to place my hand so I wouldn't get to stain the artwork. You know, the frequent movement of the hand and the arm around the artwork can lead to stains from sweat and everything. So I have to just place the paper, like keep the paper and place my hand on it and enjoy my shading. So for the max tape, I use the maxing tape on my biro so I can tell or know how light or thick the strokes from the biro will come out from like the particular biro, from that particular biro. So what I do is I label the biro like thin or new, medium, and then old. So for the older ones, I know that when I make the strokes, the line weight will be thicker. Like the line weight will be thicker. It wouldn't be like a particular biro that I used, like a new one. Like I just brought a new one, and the line weight from the new one will be thinner and more finer than the ones from the older ones. Okay, for the older biros, they tend to bleed over time of continuous usage. So they tend to bleed. So what happens is you use them in darker areas. You don't just carry them and use them on areas that you needed light tones. Or no, you use them in darker areas. So hence I used max tape to differentiate them. So that is the whole point of the max tape. I use them to differentiate the shades, yes, the different shades that the biro strokes would give me. So while shading, I shade from the lighter areas to the darker areas, layer by layer. That's what I call layering. The whole idea is for you to build your tones. You don't just go like boom, apply much pressure on the pen to give you a darker area. No. So what you do is you build the tone gradually, layer by layer, as you can see here on the video. Cross hatching. Here I use the diagonal strokes, then from there now cross it with the other diagonal, and then once you are crossing it, the spaces you might find in between, you can now do well to like be closing it up, close up the spaces in between. Yeah, you would say, how do we close that up, the spaces in between? Yeah, we need to close the spaces in between so it will give us a more realistic look. Yes, and we could close it up by simply coming back to add biro strokes on those white spaces. Or you can also, instead of strokes, you could also do circularism or pointillism as you may wish. So I'll make a video explaining in details circularism and pointillism in the nearest future. So you do well to keep following our YouTube channel, share our videos and the channel. Let us reach more people so we could keep learning together and growing together. So let's get back to before the whole circularism and pointillism. So here, when you are shading, you do well to be very patient. Apply patience. Biro artworks is all about patience. It tests your patience limits. Yes, I could say that it tests your patience limit, because there's no room for you to make errors, much errors here. So you'd be patient enough to keep building your tones, you don't rush it. One thing I like, one thing I usually use to motivate myself is you enjoy the sound of the strokes that the biro make on the paper. Just love it and enjoy the sound, that sound that the biro makes with the paper. Yeah, so just do well to keep enjoying. When you are stressed out, you could just if you are stressed out to the limit, you could just keep it. Instead of ruining the work, you could just keep it, take a quick break, and when you are refreshed, you now come back and keep building your tones. Do well to remember to switch the biros where necessary from time to time. So let me allow you enjoy the view, and any questions you have, do well to drop it on the comment section. Be sure to keep watching till the end, as I have other tips up front in this video. So when you are shading, you do well to erase the sketches you made. You erase it gently and make sure that the particles from the eraser you've brushed it off, because it could make the biro strokes to be uneven. And after hours of cross hatches, layering on the nose area, you could see how the final outcome looks. So with the nose being done, we now head to the area beneath the nose, and it's still the same shading technique we use: cross hatches, layer by layer. That's layering. And another tip here is, in while making your cross hatches, you could just keep your hands as you see how I place mine. Just keep it at one position, then you just be moving your wrist. It's a wrist movement thing. How well you control your wrist movement, the movement of your wrist will give you fine strokes. Thing is, when you are shading the fold or any fold on the face or wrinkle on the face, you don't just make the lines stick at once. You don't just make the lines stick at once. All those lines, all those areas on the face, you still use cross hatch. If you go bold at once, it won't come out that nice. So you just apply the same, building up your tones, build up your tones on those areas. With that area being done, you could now see the outcome. You could see the outcome and the smile, the contagious smile from the subject. And yeah, I worked overnight on this piece too. When shading the cloth area too, you pay adept attention to the sketches you make and do well to follow them, as that will make the cloth design to come out well. And it finally framed and delivered. So this is how I made this piece, guys. Thanks for watching.